All right, it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. So, we had a little bit of snow, and it looks like it's actually affecting a little bit of the power and internet. So, I'm coming in late right now just because I had a power surge that knocked out my internet, so I couldn't go live. So, I made something interesting with trying to get the internet going on right now. So, I won't be able to see any of the comments that you guys are talking about. So pretty much, I'm just doing this live and just really talking to you guys. Can't see anything that you guys are saying. So sorry about that, but I had a power surge. My main computers, they got knocked down. My internet's out. Jet power just came back on. It was like weird little power surge, power outage. One of my surge protectors that the computer was in looks like it blew and I can't get it back on now. Interesting, and I gotta figure out what to do with that. So, at least for right now, it's gonna be fairly quick since we don't have that much weather coming up, and I'm going kind of off of cellular Wi Fi right now, and I don't wanna go too long on that. So, to get started, let me take this down here. So right now, this is what we're seeing with the remnants of this very long storm. This is making its way out, and we saw quite a long stretch. Anywhere from Texas, pretty much, I don't know how long that is, maybe like 1,400 miles. There are winter storm warnings in Houston, Texas, all the way up through New England. Quite a long storm, but it's pretty much out now. And on the satellite, we can see right here, there's still some little bits of energy, but that's slowly making its way through. So overall, the snow totals map looks like it validated pretty well what I put out last night. The only thing is the timing. This came through much later and left much later than I was originally forecasting, even though the snow total kind of were in line with what I was thinking. The highest I saw was getting up near Middletown. That was about 8 inches. And then I don't know anywhere a little bit more north getting into central New York State, the capital district. I don't know if you guys got anything more than that, but the highest I saw was right around 8 inches. Then once you got out to Long Island, there wasn't even a measurable amount. It was really just a trace or a coating of some snow. So that's pretty much over right now. And I do have some neat drone footage that I want to put up for here. So this looks very nice here. We're seeing, let me get that down. Nice little coating here. Where I was getting maybe right around 3 inches of some snow. And it's got a nice little winter look out there. And then this I recorded the drone background right at about sunset. So yeah, the sun right about there. The sun did poke its head out ever so slightly right at sunset. Nice little coating through the forest there with the drone footage. And when I tilt up here, we're looking at some buildings. Overall, it looks like a nice little winter wonderland. These little roads and train tracks going through there. They were all pretty good. It looked mostly wet and a lot of roads were treated. This is one main road right here that's going through where I live. It's pretty dry. Let me see if I can step out the side. There wasn't really anything. And these little community roads, pretty dry. There wasn't really a lot of accumulation on the road, so I think they did pretty well with the treatment of the road. Now on to the forecast part of this. So let's start with the GFS. We're going to see this system making its way out, and we have a pretty strong high pressure system coming in behind it. So for your day tomorrow, and a lot of these forecast models are pretty much in agreement, we do have very tight isobars there, so it's going to be a little bit breezy just because that system that second low is still right out there. But as this goes through, going into Friday, that system still makes its way out. The isobars get a little bit further away, and it's still going to stay windy from what I'm thinking, but it's going to be fairly seasonal with the temperatures. Then going into the weekend, it'll start to get a little bit warmer. Now for the all-important weekend forecast, so I'm going into Saturday. High pressure is coming right into the area, but again, look how tight these isobars are. Still windy. It's going to be clear, but it's going to be windy. And I don't see any here, but let me zoom in a little bit here. We were talking about something last week called advection, warm air advection and cold air advection. So this red dotted line, this has to do with the thicknesses. The 540 thickness line is kind of thought of as the freezing line, even though it's not exactly. Now this is 552 thickness. So that's really in the warm area. So this is called an isotherm, and then this is an isobar. When these isotherms and isobars cross, that's where you see advection, warm air advection, cold air advection. So we're seeing warm air advection, and right about there, going through a couple of these isobars, it's almost 90 degrees perpendicular between an isotherm and an isobar. That means we're having the strongest type of advection that we can see. So we're seeing a lot of warm air coming in, and we're going to see in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees in a couple of spots throughout the weekend. And then Sunday, about the same story going into Sunday afternoon. The only difference is these isobars, they spread out a little bit more, so the wind starts to die down a tad bit. Now the next precipitation chance starts to come in early in the week, but right here on the GFS, a lot of these are coming in fairly well agreement. But right here, this is about 7 a.m. on Monday. I do want to show you something interesting with this model. So we have pretty low gradient here with the isobars going through a couple of spots there. So not really tight gradients or not much wind, but when we back out a little bit here, this is the next system coming in. Look how tight those isobars are there compared to just ahead of the low pressure system. Now Monday, not really too bad. It's going to still be dry. This model does have, the GFS here, it does have a few spotty little showers coming through. That's pretty much it for that until we get later in the night. Now this, let me back up one. So this is late Tuesday night, or Wednesday, this is late Monday night here, where we're seeing some pretty moderate showers, but then going into Tuesday morning, that's where we start to see these thicker streaks there. And then once you get up a bit more north, this is where we see what's called wraparound snow. So the center of the low pressure is pretty much up about here, and we have counterclockwise rotation around it. So as it comes down around the back side, this is pulling north winds behind it, and that's pulling down colder air. So that's when you see this little snowy interaction at the back side of the front there. But most of it, it looks like it's going to be rain. And then as it starts to warm up through the day, the only thing is the timing. So it looks like it's going to be out pretty much before any more colder air kind of comes in behind it. And then that makes its way through. So then going next Wednesday, a week from today, again, it looks to be dry. So we're going to see a lot of the 7-day forecast dry, but a little bit breezy, because behind that we do have these tight isobars there. And then zooming in, this is the opposite of the weekend. So right here, there's that pretty much perpendicular isotherm going with the isobar. So now it's cold air advection. So behind this rain coming through Tuesday, it does look like we're going to be seeing maybe some more colder air behind that. So that's the GFS. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to really show you too many forecast models here. This is the NAM, and this one doesn't go out too far. This one only goes out till about early morning, maybe 1 a.m. Sunday. So this is going now, let's set this into morning hours on Thursday, going into the afternoon Thursday. There's that second low right there, still churning up the Atlantic there, and that's kind of what's causing these isobars to be a little bit tightly packed. So pretty much in agreement with the GFS. Going into Friday, not as windy it looks like, as there's a little bit more of a gap here between the isobars, so still going to be cold, however. Then going into Saturday, all right, about here, this is about 1 p.m. on Saturday. Dry in almost all of the Northeast out there, but these isobars, this is kind of the same story that the GFS was showing. It's going to be a little bit tighter. So we're going to see these winds kind of come through on Saturday, but this is where we're having that warm air advection. Can't really see it too much. I don't think this model shows any isotherms. Yeah, it doesn't show any isotherms on at least this graphic here on the website. But then the end of this forecast model, about 1 a.m. on Sunday, and for most of the tri-state region there, nothing. You just have little spotty showers once you get out to, say, Ohio and Pennsylvania there, but that was pretty much that. Next here, this one is called the RPM. The RPM is something interesting because it's kind of like a proprietary model with IBM. But let's take a look here. So let's put that in play. This is forecasted radar and satellite. That second low kind of makes its way out. Nice clear air. Where's the timing here? Let me stop it right there. So this looks like Friday. That one was showing maybe a little bit of some passing clouds there, and then maybe some showers once you get out more north into New York. So a little bit different than what some of the other forecast models were showing. But then going into Saturday, let's see, this is still Friday afternoon, clearing out there. Saturday, this is now in the morning, and then going into the afternoon, a few passing clouds. Nice looking weekend. And then that was as far out as that forecast model went. And the last one, this is also from WSI and IBM. This is the Deep Thunder model. This one is showing that little split between some rain and snow initially. That's that second low that makes its way out. The isobars aren't as tightly packed there until we get to the weekend. Let's see, it's starting to get tighter. We stop right there. This is, what time is it? So this is about 1 p.m. on Saturday. So it looks like all the forecast models, at least, are in agreement that we're seeing tighter pressure gradient there, so a little bit more wind. However, this one is also showing some more snow shower action. That might be a little bit of a lake effect kind of snow, but yeah, there's a possibility of some little flurries once you get really upstate into New York. Then going beyond that, let's see right there, that's a little bit of a difference. So this is Saturday night. Saturday night, it doesn't really enter into the tri-state right around New York City area, but it does look like getting down into some of the mid-Hudson Valley, maybe some snow showers. So that's something a little bit different than what the GFS and the NAM were showing. We'll see, because this one was one of the, at least with the snowstorm 2 weeks ago, this was one of the most accurate, but it's still in the experimental phase right now, this forecast model. So we'll see how it handles this, even though it's not really too much going on. But then going into now Sunday, this is Sunday afternoon. Look at this, it's bringing in this next system much faster. So this was, what time is this? This is about 6 p.m. on Sunday. If I go back to the GFS, let me see if I can rewind it to 6 p.m. Sunday. And this is 7 p.m. So this is the picture the GFS was showing. And this is the picture the Deep Thunder model is showing. This is much faster. It looks like, let me try and line up at least the position of these. So a little bit of shutting out there. So a little bit of that shower action I originally talked about. This is 7 a.m. Monday, so it's a tad bit faster. However, on this Deep Thunder model, it's not really just a little bit of shower action jutting out. That's pretty much the pressure, the main precipitation kind of coming through. Now let's see where else this goes. Now this is also bringing the freezing line down a little bit more. So this is showing maybe a little bit of a sleety mix going down into, let me zoom in a little bit more here, get a little more detail. Yeah, getting into Orange County there. So that's showing maybe that little bit of mixing. But on the GFS and the NAM, I just had the GFS up, so let me get back to the NAM. Oh yeah, this one didn't go out as far, never mind. That was there. So here, yeah, there's really no mixing going on at all with the GFS. There. And then that pretty much is a gap, and then just going to rain going into Tuesday morning. And then back here, let's see what else happens here. So this is still Monday. It's interesting, this is almost a day ahead. That's jutting out the precipitation. And then it does kind of show this line here. That line almost matches up with that line. And the timing on this one with the deep thunder is about 1 a.m. Tuesday. And this is 7 a.m. Tuesday. So the main line, the bulk of the precipitation, they're kind of close, but it's spreading it out much more on the deep thunder model. Kind of interesting to take like a forecast analysis and look at a lot of these different models to see like, essentially these are, I kind of think them as thinking. I think them as thinking, yeah. I think them as thinking, so they have kind of opinions. These are all different opinions that I have to kind of meld together into my own forecast. That's essentially what meteorologists do. This is very much like an art form. And let's see how far out this goes. Behind it, and that was as far out as it went, which is this is 7 a.m. Tuesday. So 7 a.m. Tuesday, that main precipitation's gone out of there, and the cold air is coming in behind it with that wraparound snow. So this one is much faster. I just want to look one more time going back at the RPM. That's at the beginning. It's the 20th, that's Saturday. Yeah, that one didn't really help too much. But at least between these, it's interesting. The one last one I do want to bring up, which I'm going to blank out the video feed, but my audio is still going to be here because I got to log into another system real quick. So that's blanked out. Still here, guys. Let me go into here. And this, let me just bring up the European real quick. Here we go. Northeast. Oh, went too far. Let me back that up. Here we go. And back. So now, this is the European. So let's get out of today. Going into tomorrow. Still looks pretty dry. And this is going into Saturday. Still dry there. No snow coming down, which is very different than what or a little bit different at least, than what that deep thunder model was going. This is more in agreement with the GFS and the NAM. Now going into Sunday, still dry. Maybe a little bit of lake effect snow there going late Sunday into Monday. And then Monday, now that freezing line or the 540 line pretty much moved north. So all of this, and again, right there, there's that advection. Black line is the isobar. Red line is the thicknesses, or you can kind of call this an isotherm. Let's just call that for right now. There's almost a 90-degree angle right there. That means there's warm air advection happening. It's kind of interesting to see these on the main forecast models, the GFS, the European, and the NAM, showing almost the same thing there. Then those special proprietary ones, the RPM and the Deep Thunder, were a little bit different. So this is Sunday. I'm into Monday now. This is 7 a.m. Monday. No precipitation at all yet. Until a little bit there, so that's probably starting out with some showers. And it's showing very similar to the GFS, this gap right here. A little bit of shower action jutting out ahead. And then, this is that main line of precipitation. This is Tuesday afternoon at about 1 p.m. So Tuesday, pretty much a wet day. It's going to be very rainy. And then behind that, there's the center of the low, counterclockwise rotation in the northern hemisphere. And around the backside, bringing in a little bit of that wraparound snow. But either way, right there, that's now cold air advection. There's almost that 90-degree angle between the isobar and what we call here the isotherm. So, cold air advection right behind this. And then, rounding it out, going into Wednesday, early Wednesday. Still maybe some spotty flurries around at this point. But then going into the main day on Wednesday, maybe near the Capital District there. Yeah, you might still see some flurries as according to this one with the European. But overall, it's going to be drying out by the time we get to Wednesday, but it's still going to be cold because we had all that cold air advection kind of coming back into the picture. So that's pretty much wrapping up the forecast analysis part of this. So now let's go into the forecast graphics here. So overall, this is what I'm saying. Tonight, gradual clearing, still frigid with this low of 18 degrees. Northwest 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Then tomorrow, I'm going to call that mostly sunny but cold. High about 36, and yeah, it's going to be a little bit breezy. We're going to say west about 5 to 15 mile per hour wind. So it's still going to be cold. You definitely want to bundle up and have all your skin covered up because even though it's not dangerously cold, yeah, you can still get some frostbite if you're outside, too long. Then tomorrow night, about 21 degrees, still cold I'm going to call it. Mostly clear, winds dying down a little bit, and they're changing. It's going to be becoming a little bit more south or southerly, 5 to 10 miles per hour, ahead of that warmer air kind of coming in for Friday. So then on the 7th day, let me step off here for a second. So Thursday, tomorrow, again, mostly sunny and cold. We're starting to see then a little bit warmer weather going in for Friday. But then when we get to the weekend, it looks like a pretty nice weekend. Saturday and Sunday look mostly dry for pretty much all of the Northeast. Again, a little bit more north. Yeah, you can see maybe a little flurry late Sunday, but really this is for the tri-state region, my 7-day, and I don't really see any precipitation. And then we're going to be seeing, again, 49 degrees for Saturday and then 48 for Sunday. So those upper 40s, and it's very possible we can get near 50 degrees in some spots on those days. And the overnight lows, they're not really too bad, pretty much right at the freezing border, just a little bit above freezing. And then going into Monday, we do see a bit more of that cloud cover coming in, mostly cloudy. Rain more so later in the day, or showers later in the day, and rain coming in overnight Monday into Tuesday. And then with this, we're going to see a little bit more warmth coming in, so back into the upper 40s there. Then behind that, that's where that cold air advection comes in, and that's where we're seeing the temperature drop back down to about that 40-degree mark for Wednesday. So that pretty much wrapped that up. I didn't want to go too much longer, and I am sorry I can't really see any of the comments right now just because of the whole mobile thing going on right now. So that pretty much wraps this up. Definitely to bundle up through tomorrow and Friday, but enjoy a little bit of a mild weekend and a very comfortable weekend, I'm going to call it. Just a tad bit breezy, and that's about it. So this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great evening, everybody, and I'll be uploading a couple more videos going through the next couple of days, so hit that little subscribe button below, hit the little bell icon so you know when I upload a video or go live, and I'll see you guys all around. Have a great evening.